and welcome to the Enchantress Society with Tia Johnson, a place where you get to be you, where you get to unlock your magic in a sacred and judgment-free zone. The Enchantress Society is your witchy sisterhood of enchanting women who guides and supports you along your spiritual journey from the mundane to the magical. I invite you to sit for a spell as I interview guests and spill the spiritual tea on how we can create the magical life we deserve. Hello, Enchantress. Welcome back to another episode. So this one is a very special episode because this is going to be about my 90-day mastermind course. So if you are someone who's been feeling like the need for some serious change, especially since we are wrapping up the last 3 months of this year, this is definitely for you. I'm going to break down what it's about, who this is truly for, some results, benefits, and of course, there are testimonials on the website, and one is a video testimonial from the first round when I did this course. And it's from the lovely student, Nadia. She's in Italy. And it was such a pleasure to work with that first round group of people. And she was so brave enough to come on camera. So check it out. She tells you the hard story, beginning, middle, end. And I'm so happy for her. So let's get into this. All right. The Goddess Mastery Coaching is all about helping you to ignite your inner goddess. This is the foundational work. And this is what I emphasize on, because when we are navigating through our lives and working with our magic, working with magical elements, it's easy to lose our balance. It's easy to default to magic. It's easy to not want to resolve things on our own first, acknowledge our powers, our strengths, who we are. Because what happens is, I've seen this before, it hasn't happened to me personally because I'm someone who's a lover of research. Like I will research and I have books and books and books. So I made sure, even though I wasn't 100% confident, but I had confidence and I worked on it. I didn't have 100% boundary level, but I worked on it. So what I have seen over the years is people start to use magic and they want to do it to make someone love them, make someone see the problem with an issue, to make something happen. And the thing is, well, number one is free will. You don't want to make someone love you if they don't love you. It never ends well. Okay, that sounds like a broken record, but it's true. It even happened to a family member of mine. He went a little crazy. Okay, like it happened to him. And yeah, so it doesn't end well for anyone. Plus, why would you want someone to forcibly love you? You want someone to do that to you. So there's that. Also, another reason why this foundational work is important is because when you do have to stand up for yourself, and you're going to have to, you can't say time out. Let me pull up this sigil. Let me do this quick spell. Let me have a powwow with my deities real quick. No, you might have to punch this person in the face. You might have to tell him, hey, asshole, you can't resolve everything with just magic. You have to work on yourself first. You have to focus on that. You have to understand who you truly are so you can retain as much of your power, if not all of it, as possible. Right? So this 90-day course is the process to help you reclaim yourself. So many women women, days, so forth, who have worked with me in the past have lost their identity. And it's because we're multifaceted beings, but we forget about ourselves. So we end up becoming mothers and wives and friends and supervisors, so many things to so many people that we put ourselves last. Sometimes not intentionally, we just have a big heart. Maybe we have the means to help others, but then we forget to make time for ourselves. And time can be made for ourselves, right? So we forget to nurture ourselves, to pour into ourselves. Or when we do it, we kind of sort of do it. We sort of justify it. Oh, I got my nails done, but I just got the basic manicure. I can't be bothered with all that. Are you sure? Or is that just an excuse, a label you gave yourself, which you can't be bothered with? Because you feel guilty about treating yourself, when really it's part of your maintenance, your spiritual maintenance, your physical maintenance, who you are, an expression of your creativity. Okay? This is to help you unlock your magic. I know I said this so many times on a podcast, but it's true. I can't even begin to tell you how many times people had told me that they thought they were crazy. They just didn't understand the magic that they held, because it might have been just trickled out a little bit, little sprinkles, but the chest wasn't open completely. So they don't really understand what's going on. They don't understand that what they're doing is picking up on someone's energy. You don't have to really know a person, right? Their energy speaks for themselves, but you can't prove that because you don't even know what you're feeling. And society has taught you to second guess yourself. Oh, give them a chance. Oh, give them a chance. Oh, yeah, sometimes you do give people chances, but that's the discernment you develop over time. In some cases, you don't need that. You got that feeling, that vibe, something's off. End of story. To reconnect with the goddesses, there's male and female energy. And the god and goddess became the god. Like, I just cringe sometimes when people don't want to acknowledge the goddess side. It's just like, it's okay. Like, you can have most of your devotion go to the god or gods. That's fine. But I do cringe because that's one half of people. We all have female and male energies. The goddesses bring a lot of that feminine energy and whatever else that brings. So this is to get you reconnected to the goddesses, to Mother Earth, to your goddess side, that part of you that needs to be turned up. So you can live the magical life you desire and deserve. You worked hard. If you're listening to this podcast, I know you're putting in the work. Even if all you can do is listen to one episode of this and maybe a little journaling, that's better than doing nothing at all. You are working toward it. You are earning this. So of course you deserve it. You're doing the work. But don't think that you have to do the same thing someone else did in order to, quote unquote, earn it. It looks different for different people. But you have the right to desire that magical life, and it can be done. Look at people who are wildly successful. They achieve those goals. It can be done. And no more wasting your precious times on things that rob you of your joy. Yes, our happiness comes from within first, but that happiness will get sliced and diced if we are still doing things that don't bring us joy. If we're at a job that we don't enjoy, if we're in a relationship that is not bringing us more joy, right? We already bring a certain level of happiness to a relationship. Our partner should bring a certain level of happiness to the relationship. And together, y'all expand on the happiness. But if your partner is bringing negativity already, eventually that's going to beat down on you. So registering for this program will help set you on a path to create strategies to help you get from that job that's not helping you, right? I will never tell you to just quit right away, but let's figure out something that can help you get on the right path. But if we can work on helping you get on the right path, then guess what? That opportunity is going to come. That idea is going to come to help you start moving in the next direction before you quit. So you have money coming in before you quit. So you know what you want in a relationship going forward. And you're not wasting your time with the kind of, sort of, okay. All right. No more wasting your time. You don't know how long you're going to be on this planet. No more wasting your time. It's time for a change. All right. So this is also going to help you be in situations where you are going to be more seen, heard, and appreciated. Because once we go through these 5 pillars that I'm going to dive into, people are going to have no choice but to have an even higher form of respect for you. And if they don't, then guess what? Spirit is going to give them what I like to call the spiritual pink slip. They're going to eventually leave your life. You don't even have to do anything. You will see. Do anything towards them. They're going to phase out. All right. And you also feel like there's more than what is just going on in life. So if you've been feeling like this, like an unpaid personal assistant, like you need to get back to doing you need to recenter yourself. You need to get back to who you are, your very essence. You have that calling for something different, then this is for you. And if you're thinking, oh, well, I don't know, like I'm really new to spirituality. This seems like a lot and goddesses. This is for the new person. This is for the beginner and intermediate spiritually centered person who is ready for change, something different, to embody their fair self. These are practical applications. And some of the pillars are chapters from my book that I'm diving into deeper in this program. And that's actually a little behind the scenes. That's actually how I designed my chapters too, especially in my first book, because the goal was, when I actually ended up doing it, was to have workshops based off the book. So the chapters are designed. And if you have the first book, you'll know the chapters and the book is designed like a workbook. Okay. So this is meant for continual education. So let's dive into this is also for more the advanced spiritually centered people too, because this serves as kind reminders. All right. This serves as a refresher, right? Because sometimes when life happens, we get a little caught up and we have to get back to ourselves. And I hear this every time, especially with people who are wildly successful. You know, they get caught. It's not a bad thing, right? A lot of things happen. It happens all at the same time and it's all going great. And then you think, wait a minute, I got to get back to me real quick. And then we do that. You know, the example like Megan Thee Stallion, she did an interview and she said, you know, she did a lot of features, you know, and that's great and everything like that, but she had to get back to herself. And she did. All right. So some of the points here to reel in is, if you're seeking that freedom from going from being, you know, trapped in a situation, like I was saying, your job, like a dead-end job, the relationship you have with yourself, to living that free life, living life on your own terms, to learning how to trust spiritual wisdom, that was rough for me, right? Because, and I mentioned this, I'm an impatient person and working on it. And I had to learn how spirit was communicating with me. And once I learned that, then I understood divine timing. Okay. It doesn't mean I don't get frustrated, but I get it. And once you understand it, then again, you can operate better in life. So instead of obsessing over something, you can go shift your energy, have play, nourish yourself, and come back to that. So learning the language of the universe and how the goddesses, etc., have been sending you messages. All right. Helping you with your self-worth to reclaim your identity and your time for you. There's no way you can show up for other people and be this strong, powerful person if your own foundations are shaky. Okay, I know it's kind of cool and funny to say, yeah, I run on E, but in reality, that's not sustainable. So to help you let go of fear and doubt and remember what you're capable of, letting go doesn't mean that it's not there, right? It means that you are detaching. So you're not so emotionally caught up in it. There are things that I have done where I was so scared, but I did it. And I become a better person because of that. Okay. And I talked about that in an upcoming episode where I do the Summon of Slay recap. I was scared. Scared. All right. Risks I take in my business, while yes, they are calculated, it's still scary, right? Investing your own money, whether you're maybe applying for college, applying for your master's degree, changing jobs, it is scary, right? But we're just going to focus on having less fear, all right? Because fear is never going to go away, right? But we can let go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Okay? And so we're not doubting ourselves to the point where we don't get anything done. So we got to do that one more thing, one more thing, one more thing, one more thing. All right? Screw one more thing. We got to get it out. And this is coming from a Virgo who likes to be perfect. Okay? The relief of getting comfortable with having firm boundaries and confidence without feeling guilty or bitchy. And the term bitch is a sacred term that we will learn you will learn inside of the program. All right. Owning your power to unleash that radiant goddess and profound abilities that are within. All right. So those are some of the things you can expect to receive, to be on the other end of this program. I'm just scrolling down here because I wanted to read Nadia's testimonial. She wrote, every time I connect with your work, I feel immediately confident and understood. I am in love with your program. So please go check out Nadia's testimonial. It is simply beautiful. All right, let's talk about these 5 pillars, because this is going to be the crux of the matter. So pillar number 1 is the if-then process. And this is what's going to, okay, so backtrack. This is one of the chapters in my second book. And the process is, if you can write a blog post, then you can write a book. It's about remembering what you had done on a certain level and knowing that not only can you do it again, you could do it again at a higher level. So we dive into what that looks like. So we want to tap into your capabilities that you have all along, but somehow got lost, to reinforce your authority and create time just for you. Remember, this is pouring into you. This is bringing you all together. This is going to help you focus on self-love and self-care without the guilt. Okay. Pillar number 2 is the triple moon goddess. This is where you're going to understand where you are in life and in situations. This is going to help you understand the phases you are in your life. This is going to help you discover what these phases mean for you, as I was saying, in your relationships and beyond. How to become more in touch with your femininity and other aspects of you. To be able to embrace all aspects of yourself. Once you own everything of you, no one can hold that against you. No one can tell you otherwise. It doesn't mean that everyone has to know your business. It just means that you are aware of you. To become more comfortable with who you truly are and trust the decisions you make. Okay. So this is about getting so well in tune to yourself that you trust yourself. You don't have to talk to every single person. You don't have to do all this extra research. Okay. You do some research. Maybe you talk to one person. Maybe you just have a conversation with the God, goddess, whatever, and you make your decision. Sometimes my decision making process involves my gut, a little time, maybe a day or two, and sometimes a reading to get some insight. And then I make my decision. Pillar 3 is a chapter in my first book, is an acronym I created called BARN, Boundaries, Allies, Resentment, and Networking. This pillar will help you to develop firm boundaries, be appreciated, and stop being treated like an unpaid personal assistant. Okay? It's nice to be a great friend. It's not nice when you're a welcome man. So we got to tighten that up. You are going to discover the 3 groups of people you need to know about in your life. I talked about this before, but we dive deeper into this. Knowing and understanding the people in your life is crucial to your self-development, to your growth, to how you expand. Because if you have people in your corner who really aren't for you or who don't want you to do better than them when they think it's a competition, you're in trouble. Those people have no problem sabotaging you. Okay? And I am serious about that. I am hardcore when it comes to the people I hang around. You cannot afford to hang around the wrong people. If there's anything that what I would say I'm hardcore about, it would be this. I don't care how much personal growth you do. If you're still hanging around your boy or your girlfriend from back in the day and they're not growing too, you're in trouble. And by growing, I don't mean they got to become multimillionaires. I mean, they're growing in their lane, whatever their lane looks like for them. If they're not working on that promotion at work, if they're not working on family development, whatever personal development, physical development, something, you're in trouble. And then also you're going to learn how to deal with setbacks you experience from being your authentic self. So you're going to come across people who are going to have an issue with your growth. How do you handle that? Whether that person's your friend, your parent, your coach. Yeah, sometimes business coaches don't want you to do better than them. What if it's someone who you have to really distance yourself from? How do you handle that? What if it's your spouse? How do you handle that? Pillar 4 is fluent in the language of spirit. So you see numbers 1111. You saw 1212. You saw 333. So what? So what? What does that mean? So what? You saw 222. And what does that mean? You're going to learn the language of spirit. I'm going to teach you how to put that into a sentence to help you understand what that means. So you're going to discover how the goddesses communicate with you. It may not even be a number. It may be a certain bird, a certain whatever symbol. You're going to piece together the signs and symbols that stick out. I'm not talking about that RAS that we have in our brain, reticular, I forget what it's called, reticular something, where we see more of the things that we want to see. So if we want to attract love, we want to see a lot of couples. If you're mentally like, I want to see couples, but if you go out into the world, like you mentally want to receive a message and then you just let go of that message. You don't think about it. And then you start to notice, oh, okay, I saw one couple. That's cute. Then you see an older couple. That's nice. Then you see 2 more couples. Oh, okay, I'm getting it. Okay, romantic love is coming my way. All right, so you also learn that detachment, so that way you're not seeking it. You know, like, oh, I saw 111 here, and then oh yeah, that's 1. It's like, no, it's just you're doing too much now. All right, so we're going to have that discernment when it's just a sign versus a message. All right, and the last pillar number 5, discovering and owning your spiritual gifts and powers. This is where you're going to be able to confidently live and speak your truth, be seen as a powerful and great multitasker, conquer fear and doubt. Again, this is where we're going to say, hey, fear, I see you. I know you're not going anywhere, but you don't own me. Same thing with doubt. All right, discover, understand, and harness your spiritual and intuitive gifts. So this is when you are going to learn techniques to practice your gifts to make them stronger. Regain your identity and call back your power. And, because like I said, at times we lose our identity because we take on so many roles. So who are you? Right? It's sort of like, I'm showing my age. Drew Carey's show back in the day, Whose Line Is It Anyway? It's like, who are you anyway? Who are you? The essence of you. Like, yes, I know you are the wife, the mother, the friend, the supervisor, the sister, the daughter. Like, yes, I know. You're the painter. I get that. Yes, I understand that. But at the very core of you, who are you? Are you going to embrace your wild woman side? What part of you do you want to embrace? What's that essence? When people see you, what do they see? When they connect with your energy, what stands out? Your essence. And then, yes, the mom. And then, yes, the wife. And then, yes, the so forth and so forth and so forth. All of which are beautiful things. But remember who you are. One day, your children will grow up and they're going to have their own family, right? It doesn't mean that you won't be their mom anymore, but you still have to live your life. What are you going to do when your children get older? Right? That's a lot to think about. So make sure that you don't lose yourself. And even sometimes, unfortunately, I've known people who husbands have called them and said, I don't love you anymore. And they were already with someone else. And it came like a shocker to the wife. Imagine being at work. Your husband calls you and tells you, I no longer love you. And you thought you were made in a shade. This is why you have to remember your essence and who you are. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but these things happen. If you identify as a wife, what happens now? You're a divorcee. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means that you have another chapter to start in your life. And that's the truth. Okay? So all of this is the foundational work, especially if you're a newbie, to help make you that powerful, unapologetic badass that you are destined to be. And you just need a guiding light, and I'm here. I'm here for you. I got your back. So we begin October 1st, and what you will receive is a syllabus, 12 live weekly coaching calls from yours truly. They will be on Fridays, Freya's Day, training videos, downloadable fun sheets, the private Facebook group bonuses, and of course, lifetime access. All right, so this is a sacred spiritual journey. Okay, it's a little bubble, and we're going to be in it for that time. So to pay in full is $800, and you will have access to the Enchantress School. So the Enchantress Coven monthly membership is being converted into the Enchantress School. So we're expanding. So that's so exciting. You're the first to hear about it publicly, and I'm looking forward to it. We're updating a few things. So, you get all the goodness of the Enchantress School. So it's different witchy tools and things like that for you to learn in your spirituality, no matter if you're a beginner, like I said, or experienced. So you will see in the libraries and such, there are extra material there for you to help you along your path. Okay. And then the other payment plan or the other investment is the payment plan. So it's $200 for 4 months. All right. And then you'll pay the $200 at the time of signing. Of course, if you have any questions, you can email me, tia@tiamariejohnson.com. The link to register is in the description of this episode. And so I just want to send a few reminders because I'm really excited for this. Like I said earlier, the transformations that happen are really all I can ever ask for. And to know that I am helping someone get out of unfortunate situations and really just claim their power that's just there all along is such a beautiful thing to witness. I've been there helping people, witnessing that. It's just a great thing. So the strategies in this course are a combination of my personal experiences, certification courses I've taken. So the healing certification healing courses, and what I've put into practice working with my clients. So there's a combination of knowledge over the years. I've been an entrepreneur for 11 years now. So you're getting a lot of information to cut down on your learning curve in these areas. And imagine going into 2022. I can't even believe I'm saying 2022. Imagine going into 2022 as a wild woman, or just that goddess that you unlocked. And by wild woman, I mean just unleashing yourself. Like, there's actually a book that I recommend that talks about diving into that. It's just your feminine energy that's just being ignited. Okay, to release that, to live that unapologetic life where you're peeling back the layers of you one by one of what's not working for you. Okay, that doesn't work for me, but this does. Let's keep that. Let's get rid of that. You didn't make the cut. How awesome would that be to accelerate your growth? That is awesome. Going to the new year is really a new you, really new you, new year. So I don't ever want you to think that you're not worthy. Okay. Like I've had messages where people felt that way over the years, and different ways of saying it. I didn't know if I would be up to it. I didn't know if I can do it. I didn't know I was worthy. I thought I had to do other things first. You exist. Therefore, you are worthy. Period. Okay. Sometimes people worry about this change will make them appear to be selfish, get called bitchy. People who have an issue with your growth are the people who loved you when you had no boundaries. Okay? People who have issues with your growth are people who loved you when you had no boundaries. And like I said, the word bitch is actually a sacred term that was bastardized over the years. And you're going to learn just how sacred the word bitch is. It's actually tied to goddesses. So, and goddess Artemis in particular. Okay. So I'm going to give you ways to combat that. Okay. In the program, I give you comebacks. Okay. You get help in that areas. There's nothing wrong with putting your, matter of fact, that's a requirement. You have to put yourself first. And if someone thinks that's you being selfish, they're highly mistaken. Okay. So don't worry about that. They aren't your people. All right. If they're calling you that, you don't want them in your life. You don't want it to be a confrontation. Some people believe that once they start the spiritual growth, they're going to have to justify it. People want to question them. They don't want to get in an argument. It takes two for it to be an argument. That's why I focus on this foundational work, because you know your limit. You know that point of no return where you're about to snap, where you're about to be like, you know what? All right. So don't let it get to that point. Some of the things I say are, you know what? This isn't going anywhere. So I'm just going to change the subject. I'm going to go over here now because this isn't going anywhere. There are also ways to be discreet about your learning. Okay. All of this is digital. You can look at this from your phone. You don't have to download anything, or you can download everything. Okay. So your privacy can be intact, but I also give you ways that you can maneuver around annoying muggles. Okay. And then also a huge concern is about the people they will lose in the process. And this is coming from someone who has no problem cutting people off. No problem distancing myself from relatives. Okay. Like literally I block people. I have no problem. My block finger is strong. I don't go back and forth with people. I don't do it. I don't have time for it. Okay. So again, it's coming from someone that has no problem cutting people off. You're only doing yourself a favor. You are only doing yourself a favor. Worrying about who you are going to lose will drain you. You cannot be a luxury yacht, right? Like you can't be this beautiful yacht worrying about, oh, I gotta make sure I have these little rinkety dink tugboats beside me because, like, I don't want to get too big for this even bigger ocean. And, if I don't keep these little, no, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Some people have submarines in their yacht. Some people have a helipad on their yacht. But you don't see these extra little boats, right? You don't see these extra, oh, well, because I known them for so long. I know that's probably a stupid example. I don't know, but a yacht came to mind. What I'm trying to say is you gotta let go of that loose, negative, not sustainable energy that just wants to drain you. It's not a good look. It's not going to help you because they're going to take, 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 take. They don't care about your achievements. They don't care about supporting you. And the one thing that gets people to the top is their support system. Their support system. Even if you are your own support system for the time being, that belief you have in yourself is exactly what you need and all you need at that moment. Because the belief that you have in yourself will grant you the faith and spirit. And the faith and spirit will help you get your team. But you can't do that if you're worrying about keeping Jane and John and, Joseph and Karen, all around you because you're afraid to lose them. But what value are they actually adding in your life? So if you stop talking to them today, what's going to happen? What would happen? If they don't like it, oh well, you're not here to please everyone. Okay. And that's why this course is so important, because who we surround ourselves with, our support team, is crucial. And not many coaches dive into this in the spiritual world. They talk about, the negative energy in our attachments, but how can you, quote unquote, find your tribe, attract your community if you're out of tune with yourself, who you are, and your identity? It's easy for me to say, come find your tribe here, or come find your community with us. Yes, that's fine. Like you can be part of the Enchantress Society community. But when it comes to deep personal growth, when it comes to practical applications, what does that look like? What does that mean? You won't be able to attract your community if you're not being true to yourself. You're going to attract kind of sort of people, right? Kind of sort of into it, but kind of sort of not. When I was at Summit of Slay, I finally found my community of spiritual boss bitches, like hands down, like entrepreneurial, spiritual, different levels, whether it was witchy, whether it was tarot, whether it was, what was the other? Um, Gosh, it was mind and mindset and manifestation. Uh, Another, I'm not going to say another one because she's going to be on the show, so I'm going to say that one. But different areas of spirituality. Okay, and entrepreneurs, whether they were entrepreneurs with a full-time job, millionaires, multimillionaires, killing it, six figures, like all different levels. And we were so in tune with each other, so supportive, queer, straight, Asian, black, white, Hispanic. Like it was the diversity was crazy. Diversity was crazy. All different levels. Okay. Sexuality, like all different levels. Finally, I found my community in person, people who we connect. Like we even talked about getting together next year as our annual get together. Okay. I got to that point, that group of badasses, because I finally recognized my truth as a whole. And it took a lot of years to peel back the layers. Again, what works me for what doesn't, deprogramming, all that. Being open, listening, connecting with other people. If I was like, oh, I don't want to see I'm a witch. And this is also me saying towards myself, you don't have to publicly say, because I understand for safety reasons too, right? You don't want to say, I'm a witch. I get that. So I'm not saying that. I'm talking about to yourself. I don't care if you got to look in the mirror and say it to yourself. Make sure no one in the home. If you, and then just with yourself first. Doing that work allowed me to get to that point. Because if I didn't, if I was just like, oh, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to call myself a witch. I don't want to talk about these things. I don't want to, like, I took stances on things. I work on vibing with people. I don't judge people based on their lifestyle. That's ridiculous. Are you a decent person? Can you do pop culture references? That's what I care about. What's your Hogwarts house? That's the shit I care about. I'm already an inclusive person. I don't have to force that. The vibe is there. But I had to be open to that. I had to allow myself to be in those spaces and not feel, oh man, if someone see me with this person, what are they going to think? Fuck them. You know what I mean? I'm with people who are genuine. You know what I mean? Okay. So what I notice many spiritual coaches don't talk about is being in tune with yourself and your identity so you can actually attract that tribe. Okay. I've spoken with many women who joined certain programs and retreats, and they felt like they were a token there. They felt like they were like there, but there was something missing. It wasn't, people have all these different feelings. And that's the one thing I said about, and I can't wait for you guys to hear this episode of the Summit of Slay, was that I felt seen, heard, and appreciated. The people who were millionaires weren't snooty. They weren't trying to press on a why they're courses the greatest ever because, they got this no. They talked about where they were, how they got to where they were, the lessons learned, the transformation that happens. And if this feels right for you, if this is what you connect with, this is what you want to learn more about, let's have a conversation. What a relief that is to not have someone look at you like, you need me. Every time I work with someone, I'm always learning. The teacher is always the student. And if someone tells you otherwise, they are lying and they have a complex. Okay. So this secret is we need to fully dive into ourselves, building block by building block, to peel back the layers of obsolete societal brainwashing, begin the healing, and start the journey to unlock your magic. Because that's what this is about. And it's through that process that one by one, you will develop stronger boundaries, increase your confidence levels, heal generational and other wounds, speak up and take up space, put yourself out there so that you will live your truth and meet your supportive community. Because I'm here to tell you, with some of the things that I have planned, it can't be done without the community. It just can't. You can get far by yourself, but you'll get further with the right people. And you will be kidding yourself otherwise. I have no problem learning from people at all. Some people don't like it. They want to be the smartest person. And, I used to want to be like smart. Like I want to be the person with all the answers. And part of me still does. But I acknowledge that I don't have all the answers. And I'm okay to learn from someone if they come from that heart-centered place. Don't come to me on your high horse, okay? But if you're like, hey, Tia, actually it's blah, 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 or hey, you said this, I have no problem with that because it's how you do things. And unfortunately, so many times people enter spaces where the dynamic is off. That's not the case here. Okay, I don't believe in that. So the more we work on ourselves, the more we will surround ourselves with people of that vibe or better, and the more opportunities come. And it's crazy. I can't wait to tell you more about some of these opportunities that happen. It's just sometimes you think it's out of the blue, but as when my papa used to tell me, you never know who's watching you. And he meant that in both a good and bad way. A good way is that, you keep doing good work, someone's going to notice, right? The bad side is, say you are a creature of too much habit. Now someone knows your routine and you don't want people to know your routine, right? So he used to say things like, don't go the same way you came. He served in the military. So it's things like that. But what I'm saying is there's a way, or there are ways to go about certain things, but there are surefire ways to not go about certain things. And I want people to feel welcome. And that's the vibe that I put out there. So being in this program is a safe space to talk. When I had my live calls, it was a safe space to talk. No judgment, talk. Let's talk it out. That's what you're here for. A lot of times people just want someone to talk to without judgment, who can hear them out and then provide some advice. So the live calls are after you had the work, and it might bring up some feelings and we can talk about that. Okay, we will work through it, and you have lifetime access. So when I do it again, you can take it again, because you will be at the next level. So you want to do something else, these are something that you can always revisit. All right, so we start October 1st. You can go to tiamariejohnson.com/inner -goddess -coaching, but don't worry about it. It will be in the description of this episode. And again, don't feel like this is a lot of pressure. When you see the material, go at your own pace. It is a 90-day program, but you have lifetime access. Okay. So focus on what you can do, right? And there's even a break so you can catch up as well. And catch up meaning if you want to, catch up to where we're at. But just keep that in mind. Just because, let's say it's 2 modules, 2 pillars in, and it's the live call during the second pillar, that doesn't mean you can't ask me a question from the first pillar. Okay, so it's very open, and the bonuses are going to be so much fun. I can't wait to tell you about those. So you learn that once you get in the program. All right. And then, like I said, there are other testimonials we have, and shout out to Elena. She's been rocking with me since day one, like back when it was the Facebook. She's been lifelong hardcore. She's part of the Enchantress family. Okay. Elena, she's all the way in Russia. And her testimonial is, Tia helped me to make this change. She is a goddess herself, gentle and patient, kind, ready to help at any time. Her talent is unique. She finds the best way to help you. Her readings, dream coaching, Reiki healings, or goddess healing help you to reconnect with your higher self, and you know exactly what to do next. It's pure magic. Yeah, so I also used to do dream coaching back in the day. See, this is how long she's been, like I said, rocking with me. I did dream coachings back in the day. I'm a certified gateway dreaming practitioner and a Reiki practitioner. I also do distance Reiki healing. And yeah, some things may make a comeback. I'll leave it at that, ... I always have something cooking up in my cauldron. All right, so I covered a lot, Enchantress. If you have any questions, like I said, email me. I would love to see you in this mastermind. The only way from here is up. I'm always rooting for you. I'm always sending you lots of love and blessings. May the goddess protect you and nurture you. And even if you don't register, I'm not going to hold it against you. Okay. This is not one of those things where it's like, no, I get that too. All right. But if you feel this calling, even if it's a little spark, then this is definitely for you. Okay. Hands down for you. You can do this. I believe in you. All right. So again, sending you all my blessings. Remember to be kind to yourself, and I will speak to you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in, Magical One. Let's keep in touch. Join the VIP email list by going to tiamariejohnson.com. And as always, I'm sending you lots of love, many blessings. I'm rooting for you. And remember to be kind to yourself. Until next time.